Welcome back to Missing Time. Chiharu stays quiet over the weekend. I tried shooting her a few messages, but she never responds. On Sunday though, Chiharu finally responds. She agrees that what I and Sumire said made sense, and she'll spend the next few days getting things in order on her end first. We both know that's code for trying to stall her parents for a while longer. Nevertheless, the messages reassure me some. Good thing, because the crunch of midterm is here, and it hits hard. Very hard. Like, you're not gonna get yourself a single bit of break or sleep kind of hard. The week has barely started, but the teachers have already begun their drills, as thus, Kanako announces that the next club project won't start until after everyone is done with their exams. Reasonable, but many lament that her decision takes away their one parental approved source of distraction. And so the grind begins. Everyone's schedule gets a bit frantic, and we never manage to sit down with each other. Of course, being a year younger, Sumire's classes are completely different from mine and Chiharu's. Heck, even mine and Chiharu's are different. Thankfully, Chiharu's mood seems to improve over our exchanges, for she's told me during our brief exchanges between classes and texts, it seems like her parents have backed off her case some. Even Chiharu's parents wouldn't pluck their kid away right before an important exam season. Especially not before the exam season. The more I think about it, the more it seems like it's just a fear tactic to scare Chiharu into studying harder. Doesn't it seem right, so it doesn't make it seem right or any better though. As the weeks go by, we manage to arrange 2 group study sessions, during which Chiharu's mood is vastly improved. Seems like her parents have backed off a bit for mid-term. Even they have more common sense than driving Chiharu into a corner right now. It's a collective relief, even if it might be a temporary one. Still, I can't deny that if her parents weren't such awful people, then Chiharu wouldn't have tried to connect with me more. Because you would have more time to spend with your parents if you, as a parent, delved into interacting with your child more. Otherwise, they feel like you're going to be a person which they want to avoid because you don't want to spend time with them. These days, the 3 of us can only see each other in the library, it seems. And during the time we have, we don't get to talk much other than homework and practice tests and research materials. It's busy, but it's simple enough. Most of all, it gives me and Chiharu the closure. What do you mean the closure you need? What? I can't make head or tail of this poem. What does the poet mean to say? Isn't it all about the blooming season? Well, it can be interpreted as the longing of for budding love. A youthful rush that's heralded by the season. How romantic. Both girls let out a dreamy sigh. I wrinkle my nose. Are you sure it's not just the teacher who projects into it? Flare! Only Fleckers. What do you mean? I'm being for real. What if the author really just wants to describe what he saw in front of his house? We try our best to keep our bickering to rapid whispers. It's so ridiculous, but it warms my heart that we get to do this together. Oh great, here comes the boresome lot, or the boresome one. Please keep quiet in the library. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. We watch as Emiri not stomps away, too shocked by a sudden appearance to say anything. I wish she'd too mad at us. Yeah, she is. Are you kidding? The way she glared at us made my blood freeze. Yeah. Well, it's not wrong, Chiharu. You can openly admit that, you know. She does look really riled up, though. Usually Emiri is always so quiet. Well, Shizuyo has been saying that they've had some sort of dispute at home. Dispute? Oh, another Onishi sisters fight. Yeah, Shizuyo didn't go much into detail when I spoke to her, but it sounded like Emiri's anger at Shizuyo for joining the well then, let's move on. The taboo club again. Onishi's reputation is supposed to be pristine, right? And the occult club's image is the contrary of that. Not that pristine, yeah. Yeah, I don't know about the other club members, but I know Shizuyo said she joined a club for fun. Because as an Onishi, she doesn't or didn't have to join any extracurricular activity. That's a pretty sweet deal, no? I don't think so. Yes, maybe. But Shizuyo usually doesn't get to do anything at home, so she just wanted to join a non-heavy duty club to pass time. I see. But the occult club though? Nah, it's unconventional. But Shizuyo's unconventional, so it kind of works. I can see that. So Emiri's mad at Shizuyo for joining the club? That's what I think. The ownership has always been complicated. Yeah, you can say that again. I guess I can see that. I don't know a lot about either Emiri or Shizuyo, but from my encounters with Emiri, she's always so unapproachable. Shizuyo is friendlier, but it's difficult to catch attention. Despite being twins, yep, they are as far away on opposite spectrums as possible. One's sociable and free caring, the other one is very serious and cold and doesn't have an ounce of humour inside her, but I wouldn't pretend to know what's going on with them. Looking down my assignment, I groan. I have my own issues to worry about. Yep, the short... What should I say? The short-term future. Fellow investigators, I'm happy to announce that 100% of our club has passed midterms with flying colours. Woohoo! Yes! As thus, our plan for the picnic will double a celebration. A round of cheers surrounds us. Everyone seems to be riding on a high after the crunch was done. Instead of a formal meeting, Kanako decided to give us some slack. People bring snacks and drinks to the meeting today. Everyone starts drifting around, talking in groups and having a mini celebration. Sumire shoves a bottle of soft drink into Chiharu's hand and mine each. Whooping! I'm so happy tests are over. Me too, yep, a lot, can't argue with that. We clink our bottles together, cheering. It's such a relief having all of this done, huh? It really is. I'm happy to report my parents have finally backed off too. That's amazing news, yeah, really amazing. Parents are such awful people sometimes. Yeesh! You scored second in your class, right? Yeah, just after Emiri, so nothing to complain about. We need to have our own celebration for this. We definitely should. It's all thanks to you guys. Without you, I would have been so lost. Ah, Sumire nudges Chiharu's shoulder playfully. What are you talking about? We barely did anything. Yeah, Sumire's right. It's all you, Chiharu. Oh, you too. You guys supported me so much. If it wasn't for you guys cheering me on, I wouldn't have given up. I would have given up already. So thank you. Ah, Chiharu. I can't help but chuckle at the giggling girls. It's nice to see the colours return to Chiharu's cheeks. Even if it's red ones, it's better than pale. And Sumire's eyes sparkly, so carefree. Do you have any suggestions, Sumire? Ooh, we can always go that place again. True, but I think we've been there enough times. How about somewhere a bit fancy? Oh, don't worry about it. I've put my paychecks away in a separate bank so I can treat guys. No! A way to get back at your parents, sir. Where did you get so sly, Chiharu? Well, it's not to get back at them, but you're teasing me. Well, I didn't think of the whole separate bank thing myself, though. Shizuyo gave me the suggestion. Shizuyo again! Stop getting her so warped into your own life, Chiharu. We're not about the occult club after all. She did? I don't know why, but the mention of Shizuyo makes something squirm uncomfortably in my stomach. Yeah, I had ignored Emiri's mention before. What mention before? But not in this timeline she's mentioned anything. All she's told us to do is be quiet and not ask too many questions. There's just something about the twins that doesn't sit right with me. Call it a journalist's hunch, but I don't want to find out why. You can also include Ember into that mix of doesn't sit right with me, but for a completely different way. Yeah, Shizuyo's pretty smart with that sort of thing. Speaking of whom, Shizuyo's been acting strange lately. She has, but Shizuyo's always been kind of quirky. You sure it's not just a new trend she's following? No, I don't think so. So it was tense between Shizuyo and Emiri during midterms? It doesn't seem the situation has eased up, and on top of that, Shizuyo has been getting into a lot of arguments with Ember lately. I think she's always getting into arguments with Ember. Ember? Yeah, our mutual friends are also in the occult club said during that last meeting. Their last meeting, Shizuyo and Ember had an explosive argument about the new club objective or project or something. They didn't specify what that objective was. You can ask Jasmine about that kind of thing as to see first hands of what kind of thing went on. Yikes. It's a bit tense over there right now. I heard they haven't had a meeting since then. Ouch. So Shizuyo's been a bit grumpy lately. That sucks. Maybe you should stay away for a while. Seems like she has a lot of internal problems to deal with right now. I have to agree. This just sounds like a very delicate matter. Differences on equal footings are tough for everyone involved. Yeah, I haven't been able to talk to her much lately. I do feel bad. She's always been so nice to me and I can't help her. Because it's an internal issue. You can't do anything when it's an internal issue when it comes to people. Certain people. She would understand. Besides, while I'm sure she's a lovely person, yes, getting caught in the crossfire would be bad. People often don't say what they mean when they're stressed. Emotional baggage behind their words is very, very warping in terms of what they're saying. Like, you put a lot of emotion behind your words, so therefore you're not thinking straight. I don't want Shizuyo to lash out at Chiharu for her stress, but I don't know her. And there's just a gut feeling that keeps telling me she's bad news. She is bad news! I know that during midterms, because Sumire and I were spending a lot of time with Chiharu, Shizuyo didn't get to hang out with her as much. Even Chiharu, in a few passing comments, said Shizuyo's group gossip most of the time. While Chiharu herself is drawn to gossiping, she can get uncomfortable when the rumors turn foul. Yep. I'm just glad that we managed to convince Chiharu to leave Shizuyo and her own issues be. While Sumire herself, like Shizuyo, she's very much concerned about why are you concerned about Ember? All she's done is been mean to you. Thus worried about Chiharu being hurt by proxy. It's really sweet of Sumire to fuss about Chiharu so much. The girls have switched up the conversations back to our mini celebratory dinner. There we go, they're scrolling through reviews online, comparing the pros and cons. They toss a few questions my way, but don't even wait for my answer before they move to the next thing, all buzzing with excitement. What's the point of asking a question if you're going to wait for my answer to appear? I can't help but laugh at that. It's good to see my friends are so happy. It's good to see them not stressed. So stressed. Moving back to Komachi has been better than I initially thought. It gave me the opportunity to reconnect with old bonds and make new ones. Surrounded by people who care for me and each other. I don't think there's a feeling in the world more gratifying than that. Than that. Whichever way works. Flare! Hello. Hey, Sumire. Have you been waiting long? No, I just got here. No, I've been here for about half an hour to get a coffee just so that I don't sleep from waiting. Chiharu said she had some errands to take care of before heading here. That doesn't sit well with me. That's fine, we're booked an hour ahead, so there's no rush. Despite Chiharu wants to go somewhere fancy, we're all torn over having to dress up for it. Both Chiharu and Sumire also want to stroll around for a bit after dinner. A victory lap almost. So it wouldn't make sense for us to walk around in dresses and slacks. We opted for a more casual sit-down place instead. It's so exciting to look forward to. On top of our journalism club's picnic. School has been a lot less busy since the exams are over, though us seniors will have to work on our mock interviews soon. Not to mention portfolio, resume, references, that kind of stuff. We'll get about 2 weeks of reprise before everything will pick up again. Might as well enjoy ourselves when we can. And we got a call from Chiharu, I imagine. Oh, Chiharu says she'll be running... This doesn't bode well with me. I feel like something bad is going to happen in the next 20 or 30 minutes. Okay. She must have forgotten something, man. Chiharu can be such a colt, but she's so cute. Do you want to walk around for a bit while we wait for her? Sure. It doesn't take long for Sumire to dive into a bookstore, pulling me along with her. Immediately she skips towards the manga section. I wonder who else we're going to find along the manga section. Her fingers skimming book spines like a pro. Oh, the new volume is out. Gotta grab one for myself. One for Kanako. What's this series about? Oh, it's a new Isaki manga. Ancient time with monsters and gods and magical warriors. And ships. Isn't that sort of stuff overdone? Ish. But this one is quite fun. None of the protagonists are human, even the main character. In fact, he doesn't even know he got Isaki yet. Oh, that's new. And it's not about fighting some crazy evil lords or anything. The protagonist group is out to solve mysteries, and there's a lot of interesting lore and plot twists along the way. We delve into the universe of Scooby-Doo. Maybe I should start reading it. Yash! I can lend you the books tomorrow. Awesome, thanks Sumire. Half an hour goes by fast while you're having fun. We watch our designated waiting spot again, but Charles still nowhere in sight. Oh, where could she be? Not sure. She appears online in the group chat, so she still has her phone. The bus probably is running late. At this hour? Yeah, exactly. The buses wouldn't normally run this late at this hour. Getting worried now, I call Chiharu. Something has happened. Hello, sorry, I can't come to... Yeah, it's a voice message. She's not answering. Let me try. Oh? My phone dings with a text from Chiharu. It's my parents again. Dropped a call out of nowhere. Can't come over now. Oh, for goodness sakes, why are parents such annoying people at times? Oh dear. Is everything okay? Don't know, Chiharu's parents called. Oh, no. Yeah, they're probably on a call right now. Quickly, I'll shoot back a text to Chiharu. You gonna be okay? Want us to come over? The phone buzzes almost immediately in my hands. No, you guys go ahead. No, we're coming over! This is going to take all night, probably. I'll update in the morning. KK, call us if you need us. I don't receive a text back, but I'm not expecting to. I pocket my phone, turn to Sumire, shake my head, taking the cue she sighs. Talk about perfect timing. Yeah. I hope they won't give her too much trouble this time. Yeah. We're both sinking into a worried silence, our previous good mood evaporating as quickly as the cars pass by. Do you still want to go to the restaurant? It's not a celebration without Chiharu, right? Yeah. Let's reschedule to another day. Relieved that she's on the same line of thought with me, I smile. Yeah, it's just not going to be the same without her. A celebration with your best friends, it's not the same if one of your best friends is not there. We can still grab a bite to eat though. Yeah. I'll cancel the reservation, then we can wander around for a bit. Maybe Chiharu wouldn't get holed up for the rest of the night. Right. Wistful thinking. Neither of us receive any news from Chiharu for the rest of the evening. She doesn't text us, nor does she return our messages. It's not unexpected, but it doesn't make us less worried. Sumire and I part ways earlier than we planned for the night, agreeing to come over to Chiharu's place first thing in the morning. I can only hope that this incident doesn't sit Chiharu back. She has come so far since the meltdown before midterm. Unfortunately, there's very little we could do for Chiharu now rather than being there for her when she needs us. Worried about Chiharu, I didn't get much sleep the night before. I gave up trying to go back to bed around 4:30 and decided a morning jog to her place would clear my head. I end up before Chiharu's gates just a little past 6. On the way, I've picked up a bunch of snacks from a 24-hour convenience store. It's something like Chiharu's own cooking, of course, but junk food is just pure after a spat with one's parents. Who knows, if we're lucky, Sumire and I could convince Chiharu to go out and spend the day at the mall or something. It's a beautiful Sunday morning after all. I wonder if Chiharu's going to give us those yandere eyes. Well, not the yandere eyes, but the eyes before she turns yandere eyes. Sumire wouldn't be here till at least 7, and I feel a little foolish standing by here by myself, so after some hesitation I decide to ring the bell. Patiently I wait, knowing that Chiharu can be a bit slow early in the morning. But I ring the doorbell once, then twice, then 3 times. But nobody answers. The mansion is large, but I know the system they have here is good enough for Chiharu to hear the doorbell in her room. Something has happened. My worries return tenfold. I try to call her, but it doesn't go through. The line beeps as soon as the dial tone stops. What the hell? Maybe she forgot to charge her phone last night? No, that wouldn't be it. I ring the doorbell again, my hope diminishing. My other hand quickly pulls up Sumire's contact. Sumire doesn't answer till the fifth ring. Clearly she has been asleep. Hello? Flare, what time is it? Oh gosh, did I sleep in? No, still early, but I'm at Chiharu's place and she's not answering the door. Her phone is off and I'm worried. There's something shuffling on the other side when Sumire talks next. She's clearly more awake now. Maybe she turned off her phone and the comm system for the night? I mean, maybe the conversation with, you know who lasted too long and she just got tired. Their time zones are way different, right? Maybe. I don't know if the doorbell can be turned off, though. Let me try to pin her on other platforms. If she still doesn't answer then, do you still have a spare key? Yeah. Okay, give me 5 minutes. Maybe she's gone out for an early walk or something. Honestly, that would have been before sunrise. It would make me even more worried. Yeah. There is something else that is getting to me though, and that is the main character is spending a lot of time with another person who is of the same gender as Chiharu. And if you remember back in the secret route of the game, Chiharu really did not like the MC during the end portion of the game because of spending time with another person of the female gender. Yeah, that's fair. She doesn't seem to be online on any platform. I'll try anyway. Maybe she's put on invisible. I stay quiet as Sumire furiously types on her devices. 5 minutes, then 10, then 15 goes by. No answer. No luck on your end? Not a peep. That's worrying. I think I'm going to head in. Hold up. Let me get Dad. What for? If something bad happens, it's best to have the police notified, right? At least he'll know what to do. The suggestion of something has really gone wrong unnerves me, but Sumire is right. If I heedlessly charge into Chiharu's place and something did happen, I swallow dry and not want to finish the thought. It takes another 5 minutes for Sumire to get her dad on the line. I'm anxious at first, both from the current predicament and having to speak to the chief officer, but Mr. Murasaki is a lot gentler than I thought. He very quickly got through introductions and got me to talk about what I've talked to Chiharu last, when I've heard from her last, etc. I hear Sumire is confirming what I said on the other end, stating that we were going to go see Chiharu this morning anyway. Thank you, Flare. Sumire said you had a key to Chiharu's place, yes? Yes, sir. Alright, you stay where you are. We're in the car right now. We will be there in 5 minutes. Don't do anything until we get there. Okay. I didn't realise that during our talk. Sumire and her dad are already en route. I'm torn between the worry over Chiharu's situation and the relief that an adult, an officer at that, will be here to help. Once they arrive, everything happens in a blur. With Sumire behind me and her dad's reassuring nod, I open the gate. Chiharu! Chiharu, I'm coming in. I call out uselessly, of course, but there's no answer. I'll check her room. I will check the garden. Don't touch anything unnecessarily. Yeah, because there could have been a crime scene here. Alright. As expected, the dining room and sitting room are empty. The kitchen, however... It looks like a tornado has torn through here. Dirty pots and pans on the stove, full sink, upturned bowls. There are even wilting vegetables on the counter. A sense of rawness wells up within me. Chiharu might be clumsy sometimes, and she's a messy cook, but she is very meticulous about her kitchen after she's done with it. Everything I'm seeing right now must have been left out overnight at least. Maybe she had a rush dinner after her parents called and couldn't be bothered to clean up. There's a cookie rack left on the kitchen island, and several empty containers scattering around. There's even a crumbled cookie on the floor. Right. Time to paint the scenario of what could have happened then. Was Chiharu making cookies last night, right before our supposed dinner? I can't think she would be in the mood to bake after talking to her parents. Her father was particularly against her following this hobby, knowing that Chiharu herself wants to open her own bakery instead of working to take over the family's business. That's what her parents want from her. She isn't in her room or any other room upstairs. Nothing down here either. The kitchen is super messy. Messy? That's unlike Chiharu. Yeah. Her bedroom is neat like she never slept in it last night. My heart drops to the floor the moment Chief Murasaki comes in, shaking his head. He hasn't been able to find Chiharu either. What are we going to do? I will call the force. You kids will go wait at the gate. But Dad, I'll handle it from here. It could be nothing, but just in case. But let's go, Sumire. He's right. It's okay, honey. I'll handle this, okay? With some more coax, I managed to get Sumire out to the garden. Where could she be? We huddled together in the garden, anxiously flipping through our phones. Should I ask in the group chat? You could go either way when it comes to this kind of thing. Should we cause panic? Or should we not cause panic, or can we try? Can we get everyone involved? You know what? We're gonna risk it. There's no harm in that. Though I doubt anyone has heard anything from Chiharu biting her lower lip, Sumire frantically types into her phone. The worst thing about not knowing is the waiting. Yeah, exactly. It's the in-between part of getting things done which is the worst. It's like waiting for people to do things on their end in a university assignment. You've done everything that you need to do, but it's waiting for everyone else so that you can start on the next thing. We pace around the garden, circling from the front to the back, hoping to catch a glimpse of Chiharu. Somewhere, anywhere. I don't like this at all. Neither do I. I feel terrible just even thinking about it, but I... Sumire wraps her arms around her body, trembling as fear slowly overtakes her. Immediately I step closer, putting a tentative hand on her shoulder. Yep. Chiharu will be fine. I mean... Yeah, what if what happened to Jasmine happened to Chiharu? That's a possibility. What if she got taken on the way to us? Numb, I can only offer Sumire a hug after she clings to me up and starts sobbing. Ah, I can't even say anything to comfort her because what if Sumire right? What if whatever got a hold of Jasmine got to Chiharu too? If that happened, I don't. Maybe Sumire just being paranoid. Maybe it's too early to connect the dots. Chiharu did text us last night. Right? That was her? And wasn't anyone else who got a hold of her phone, right? That is another thing. It could have been her. Like, the person who got hold of Chiharu must have seen through previous text messages and stuff like that and tried to replicate that kind of thing. She's just upset with her parents, so that's why she's not been home since last night and is gone. The possibility is that thought leads me to leave me in shambles. It must be only 20 minutes before Chief Murasaki comes to fetch us at the back garden, but it feels like an eternity has passed. With a calm voice, he explains to us he has contacted the station and Chiharu's family. Your friend's mother said they never called her last night. What? That doesn't... I have a text right here? Yeah, that is odd. And that's bad. Fumbling with my phone, I pull it up for the chief. The words are bright against the screen as if mocking all of us. It's my parents again. Dropped a call out of nowhere. Can't come over now. I see. Would you mind forwarding that to me? Sure. Dad, did you find anything else? Anything? Chief Murasaki looks at her for a long moment before sighing. Mrs. Chiharu said they have a security system here. It seems your friend left the house around the time she first texted you, Flare, and hasn't returned since. Chiharu? She didn't return home at all last night? No, I'm calling for a town-wide search. If you two don't mind, we're going to head to the station. I will need to make an official statement, Flare. You should call your parents or guardians about this. Yeah, sure. Dad, you will find Chiharu, right? You'll get her back, right? I'll do my best, honey. Exactly. One can only do their best. My entire body is numb on our journey to the station. Sumire's crying doesn't help, but I make sure to keep her hand in mine, nevertheless. I'm not sure how I managed to tell my parents about what happened, but at one point Chief Murasaki had to take over. Chiharu, what happened to you? Please be safe. The statements took much faster than I thought it would. mainly because Chief Murasaki had been there with us, and most of it has been more of a formality than anything. My parents arrived shortly after we did, and are having a chat with the officers. At first I wanted to wait inside the station, but the uniformed officers going up and down the corridors drove my anxiety tenfold, and it looked like Sumire was uncomfortable as well. Sumire had stopped crying, but she hasn't spoken much. With the search in order, we've been receiving a lot of concerning messages from friends. Speaking of which, do you think Shizuyo would know something? Shizuyo? Yeah, Chiharu was close with her, right? Maybe she told Shizuyo something last night? That makes sense. Suddenly Sumire freezes, her face drained of blood. Sumire, what's wrong? Well, Jasmine said she was brought to a forest, right? What if the same thing had to happen to Chiharu? Well, how did that come to your mind? The forest is behind the Onishi shrine. It's a possibility, right? Maybe we can go look for her there? The forest is huge though, spanning over the mountains behind the shrine. If it's just the two of us, we would sooner be lost ourselves before we could find Chiharu. I tell Sumire as much, she shakes her head. You're right, but wherever that spot was, Jasmine was near the river, and there's only one river in that forest. Right, maybe we can enlist the others to help, sorry. The others? Oh, our club. Yeah, I'll send out messages. I'll help too. The need to do so gets us into gear. It's not long before we have several responses, since most members of the club are close. They're currently out with each other right now, dropping whatever they're doing to help. Chiharu is one of us. We're coming, fellow investigators. Thanks, Kanako. Yeah. Though relieved and warned by the enthusiastic responses, that doesn't shake off my worries. Sumire, do you have Shizuyo's number? No, I'm friends with her on social media though, I can shoot her a message. Yeah. She's not online anywhere though, probably out or something. Something disconcerting rears in my gut. Something isn't quite right here. Maybe we can visit the shrine on our way there? Yeah. With Sumire distracted with texting back the details to the others, I quickly go to try and convince my parents about the search. They don't seem too keen on it at first. I can't blame them, seeing that this isn't the first missing case of the year, and the idea of a bunch of high schoolers running around in the mountains by themselves. But it's also Chiharu. They've known Chiharu since she was a toddler, and seen her growing up alongside me. After a while they relent under the condition that they'll go with us. That's easy enough, we need more eyes anyway. I tell them that we'll go to the shrine and see if Shizuyo has heard anything from Chiharu, and they agree to organise a search group with Kanako. My parents give me and Sumire a ride to the shrine. They will meet the rest of our club at the forest entrance. As we pull up the road, my mom looks out the window and hums. You know, your grandpa used to work here. He did? Oh yes, you wouldn't remember. He quit the job before he got married. Before he married your grandma. Yes, because there was something else involved about another member of the Onishi family. Yes, you remember me, but it's not like you are nice to anyone. Pardon? You used to come here with your grandfather and Chiharu Ichihara. My condolences to your family. Your grandfather's passing is a loss to the community. I shake my head. This isn't what I'm here for. Alright, we'll see you kids in a bit. Call me when you're done there. I will. Thank you. Thank you. With urgent and stressed energy, we quickly climb the steps up the mountains. However, as we stand under the torii, we are stumped. Where do you suppose we go? I don't know. I've never visited the residential part here. Can I help you? Out of nowhere, Emiri steps forward. Oh, hi, Emiri. Is your sister home? No, she hasn't been home since last night. What a coincidence that is! Because Chiharu's missing since last night! Next to me, Sumire tenses. I too feel a chill going down my spine. She hasn't? No. Has she called? Do you know where she is? For a moment, something akin to annoyance crosses Emiri's features, but she smooths it out quickly. Shizuyo does what she pleases. If she has caused any inconvenience, her action is not condoned by the Onishi. You may schedule a call with my assistant, Psycho, if you have further questions. That's not why we're here. Quickly, I'll summarize what happened to Emiri. Her brows furrow further as I go on, though she doesn't offer her opinion. I see. We were hoping to see if Shizuyo's heard anything from Chiharu last night. If she's come back, please let her know. We'll be joining the others.
Oh?
Others? Yes. Our club and Flare's parents are forming a search party down the river behind the mountains. This is going to make Emiri very happy, isn't she? My dad has had the station notified as well. Emiri looks at Sumire like she finally noticed her being there. Your father is Chief Murasaki, correct? Yes. Has he called you? He has not. Right, we'll better get going. Please give us a call if Shizuyo's come back. Here's my number. Emiri nods but doesn't say anything. Giving her one last weary nod, I tug Sumire along off to the shrine and into the forest. Yeah, Flare, Sumire. Hey, Kanako. Half of us are spreading out upstream with Flare's parents. I'm in charge of the upstream. We need someone to go further downstream. Can you two handle it? Yeah, we can do that. The local map of your device should have everything you need to navigate. The signal can be a bit spotty, so keep together. Will do. We agree to meet back up here by 5 PM. Send a message in the group chat every 30 minutes to check in. Don't linger too long, okay? Yep, because we need to know if we're still alive after all. Got it. Thanks, Kanako. Good luck. Following Kanako's instructions, we quickly pass other search groups. Kanako is really dependable, huh? She really is. I'm thankful that she's here to help. Yes, of course. Yeah. Even with the entirety of the journalism club and my parents, there's still a lot of ground to cover. I'm grateful that everyone has decided to follow our flimsy lead. Sumire said her dad had sent an officer to wait at Chiharu's place, in case she does return. With every buzz of the phones, we check religiously, only to be dejected by it's only other groups check-ins. Emiri hasn't reached out either, so either Shizuyo herself hasn't returned, or she hasn't heard anything from Chiharu. I think she is. I think she is solely responsible for this. If Shizuyo didn't come back according to Emiri's terms, and the fact that Chiharu didn't contact us last night, because that was probably Shizuyo using Chiharu's phone, then this is definitely connected. What makes you say that? I don't know. I stop, taking a huge inhale to order my thoughts. The messages. I don't think Chiharu's parents would lie about not calling her. They wouldn't. So either Chiharu lied, which is even more unlikely, or it was someone else who sent the text. Shizuyo. Whoever that was, knew using that excuse specifically would keep us away. Chiharu's never been one to talk about her family issues openly. Even our club doesn't know. It has to be someone close to her to know that. On top of that, that person knew what was supposed to be doing. We were supposed to be doing too. They knew the details of our outing. Dad said Chiharu left the mansion around the time we agreed to meet. Even if she's running late, it would only take her 10 minutes to get 10 minutes tops to get to where we were. We both arrived on time. I was 3-4 minutes late, and the message she sent was barely 2 minutes after we met. The timestamp confirms this. I feel sick to my stomach. Whatever happened to Chiharu, it happened right before we met up. Was it even her who sent out that first message? That first text? I remembered the failed call too. If she really was alright, Chiharu wouldn't have avoided picking up. Of course. I was immediately concerned, but the situation was smoothly explained by a lie. Whoever posed as Chiharu knew that I wouldn't have pressed the matter if I thought Chiharu was having to deal with her parents. And Shizuyo hasn't returned all night. We should have asked Emiri when Shizuyo was last seen. That was a massive oversight on my part. I was so high-strung I overlooked the details. You know, if Shizuyo is really behind this, then I don't want to think about it. Don't want to think about that whatsoever. The resistant cries Chiharu's name that make our realization seem even more bleak. Hope with all my being that Shizuyo, that what we think happened didn't. Surely if it did, then Emiri would have known. Surely being one who's in charge of the town, Emiri wouldn't have let that stand. But Shizuyo is also her sister, and also, why? Hours have passed, still no sight of Chiharu. Someone, namely my mom, has gone out and brought back several packaged lunch boxes for us, letting groups pass a bundle of food on. We had a quick break and continued immediately, but nothing. No one turns up. Sumire had received word that her dad is organising a town-wide search, but nothing much is coming out of that, and the sun is setting. Despair fills my entire being. Our hunch is wrong after all. We have circled around the area many times, but nothing has been found. Our suspicion has been wrong after all. It would have been elsewhere. Flare? There's a small fork here. It doesn't really show on the map. Sumire is right. We've passed through this area a few times, but the river branch is concealed by plants. And off the path, it's only because of the intense sun glow that we could see the sparkling water beyond. Should we check it out? Yeah, we'll have to be quick though. We only have 25 minutes before the agreed time. We just sent our last check-in message too. Nodding, Sumire quickens her pace and jogs down the bank with renewed desperate hope. This branch is small and winding, curving around the mountains and hidden behind the trinket. Soon enough though. Is it going down to a beach of sorts? We're going downhill. The river opens up again, thundering against bare rocks. Flare, look! That's what I thought. This cave from Emiri's bad end. Because we was with Shizuyo, and rather than being killed by Shizuyo, we had this kind of open invitation about being with Emiri and stuff like that. A cave! Sumire, maybe we should... Chiharu! Chiharu! Damn it! I curse, chasing after Sumire as she runs towards the cave. Sumire, wait! Hurrah? That's a roar, isn't it? Sumire skids to a stop, and if I didn't stop myself on time, I would have crashed into her. And quite frankly, the last thing we wanted to do is make anything notice us right now. This isn't what we agreed! Will you just shut up for a second and listen? You're not doing it! I ain't gonna be a part of this! That thing. That monstrous thing. What? That shirt. Those coloured eyes. Ember. Ember? In her petrified fear, a whisper of Chiharu escapes Sumire's lips. Heart frozen in dread, I'll follow her eyes and see that indeed Chiharu is lying on the floor. The lighting is too poor to tell, but she's clearly unconscious. Unconscious or dead. You're already a part of this. Look, we're both in this to survive, aren't we? I've found a way. All we need to do is test it. You didn't tell me what it entails. We ain't making more of this. No more. And we're dying if we don't keep doing what we do. And you're useless with a new idea. So go ahead. You! The creature sweeps at Shizuyo. Growling. Normally she dodges out of the way. Growling. You are supposed to discuss this with me first. We're supposed to be a team. It's easier to act first. I'll apologize later. Oh dear. Beside me, Sumire is trembling with fear. Help! We need help! Terrified, I fumble with my phone. Sheesh. No signal. We have to get help somehow, but... Chiharu! Even though my body just wants to get out from fear alone, I'll make a decision. Probably the stupidest decision in my life, but we don't have a lot of choices here. I'll distract them. You hide and grab Chiharu when they come out. But... we don't have time. Just go. This is going to be a bad ending. Trembling, Sumire crawls away, hiding behind a tower of rocks. She's too afraid to argue right now. Right. Carefully I backtrack away from the entrance, but not far away enough that they wouldn't hear me. Swallowing dryly, I called out, Chiharu! Chiharu, is that you in there? The commotion stops, but no one emerges. Chiharu, if that's you, answer please. Nothing. I curse under my breath. That's not enough to draw them out. Huh. Maybe... Oh, hello there. Fancy seeing you here. What are you doing so far off in the mountains? I'm looking for Chiharu. What? Here? Yeah, so, she hasn't returned home since last night, and she's not answering calls. We're all looking for her. Oh no, she hasn't returned? Where could she be? In the cave, you dimwit! That snake. She's good. This isn't working as well as I thought. Ember isn't coming out. I need to figure a way to drive her out. Yeah, we arranged a search party for her. Everyone is looking down the river for her. For a moment, something akin to anger flashed across Shizuyo's face, but just like her sister, that emotion is quickly masked. But, have you guys found anything? Nice choice of words. I shake my head. Shizuyo's shoulders drop in a shockingly realistic show of disappointment. How long have you been all searching? Surely Chiharu should be back home right now. No, we have a police officer at her place, but he hasn't called. They called a town-wide search for Chiharu too, but we haven't heard anything. Oh no. Do you guys need help? No, we're about to leave. We haven't found anything, so maybe our hunch was wrong, but... I dip my head pretending to sigh, but my mind is whirling to find a way to push Shizuyo's buttons. Ah, are you alright? Huh? I'm fine, what's up? Oh, that's good then. I was looking around where I could have sworn I heard screaming, so I headed here. Oh? I just stubbed my toes, that's all. That's really good to hear. I dropped by the shrine earlier, actually. You have? Yeah, I saw your sister. She's actually looking for you. She said you never came home last night, and that's when Chiharu disappeared. That's Emiri to you. She's just exaggerating things. I came home a bit late last night, so I snuck in and snuck out early. Oh. Yeah, we're having a bit of a disagreement at the moment. Sounds a bit embarrassing, but I'm actually hiding out here for a bit. Really now? She seems to be in a disagreement with everyone right now, huh? I smile at her instead, trying to sound sympathetic to hide my frustration. I'm sorry to hear that, but I think Emiri is actually worried about you. A sneer flashes across Shizuyo's face. Thanks for telling me, Flare. Well, it's a bit Flare, look out! I knew it. I dash out of the way just as a flaming hand strikes down the spot I was standing just mere seconds ago. Grrr! There are two of you, huh? I didn't even see Ember getting out of the cave. I was trying to distract Shizuyo, but I guess she distracted me too. This Shizuyo. What the hell? Is she really planning to get rid of all of us? My conflicting thoughts about Shizuyo are now justified, but I'm not happy about all that. All about it. On top of that, Ember... Is Ember really this monster? It's not difficult to link everything together. The conclusion makes me want to hurl. But it's not about me right now. Adrenaline drumming through my veins, I glance over at Sumire, who's shakily supporting unconscious Chiharu in her arms. Sumire! Get Chiharu out of here! Bold words for a trapped prey. Oh, great. Ember's claws flash. This time I'm not as lucky as before. I manage to dodge before she splits me in two, but she still leaves behind a burning bleeding mark on my arm. Flare! You should worry about yourself, bubblehead. Before our eyes, Shizuyo transforms. Oh dear, her skin darkens, crackling with a nervous energy that exudes from her. Her face contorts into a grotesque mask, her eyes glowing like hellfire. Ah, now there are two more subjects for us to test upon. Please, no, that's not going to work. Leave? I wasn't born yesterday, brat. Please? There. I can't promise your suffering will be quick, but I can promise you death. No! I try to rush Shizuyo as she pounds at Sumire, but Ember's strike has me reeling, stumbling to the ground as I narrowly avoid losing my head. Sumire! Someone, please, help us! Ha 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 ha! Out of nowhere, flashing arrow of light pierced through Emiri, yes! Thank you, Emiri! It would have been her chest if she hadn't moved out of the way at the last second. This has gone on far longer than it should. You! Emiri's come to save us! I don't think I would be so happy to see Emiri of all people, but we aren't out of danger yet. With a thundering howl, Ember charges forward, leaping over me to get to Emiri. A bow of pure energy manifests in her hands, raining a hail of arrows at Ember. Taking so many wounds, Ember has no choice but to duck out of the way. Yep. Never minding the craziness surrounding us, I turn to Sumire and be advancing Shizuyo. Get away from her! I grab a rock on the ground and throw it with all my might at Shizuyo. It hits her on the back, successfully drawing her attention. You insolent scum! You evil blank. I grab another rock and throw it to her. This one she dodges easily. Bold words for someone who's about to become my next meal. Part of me frees, she turns her pursuit to me. I'll force myself to not turn and run right away, picking up more rocks instead. That isn't going to save you, meat. Maybe not, but it's distracting you from Sumire, which is all I want. Emiri is going to kill you. That seems to trigger her further. I'll tear you apart! Oh dear. As she charges me, I use all my might and throw out all the rocks in my arms at once. Gah! Finally having her attention on me alone, I turn and run into the forest. It's getting dark. I barely avoid Shizuyo's slashing hands by ducking behind a tree. The sound of her tearing into the trunk is terrifying beyond words. Come out, little mouse. I can't spare a thought to taunt her anymore. If I'm not careful, I could trip and that would be the end of me. The longer I can keep Shizuyo's attention, the easier Sumire can try and get Chiharu away. Ember looks strong, but I don't think she can fight Elf Emiri. Gods, I might die here. I see you. Oh dear. I throw myself backward, yelping, and has her attacks cut into my cheeks. Shizuyo's too fast. I'm not going to be able to dodge her forever. Why are you doing this? Survival of the fittest, right? That doesn't make any sense. Of course it wouldn't to a worm like you. Ugh! Another slash. This one hits me across the chest. No, not good. Eat or be eaten, right? But you wouldn't understand. Try me! You're sly, I'll give you that. Perhaps in a different time, a different life, we could... Yeah, that's too ironic, isn't it? That's preposterous. And another act. Oh, perhaps if you had a do-over chance, you wouldn't have been so hasty. Holding my battered side, I lean against a tree. Shizuyo is toying with me. Sorry, I shouldn't be playing with food. But fear is the best nourishment, don't you know? Great. I fall to the ground hacking. Blood. There's so much blood. Why? I choke as she grabs me by the neck. Told you, I gotta eat. I'll die if I don't eat. And since you led my sister here, she's going to want to kill me, don't you know? But, you little... Grr! Something distracts Shizuyo for a second. Luckily, I still have enough wits in me to react, aiming to punch at her wounded arm. The force is enough for Shizuyo to let go of me. Let go of him! Sumire! Nuisances. Scrambling backwards, I yelled out. What on earth are you doing here? Run! But Sumire doesn't budge, even though she looks terrified. That's when I notice Sumire is holding her phone. She's filming this. I called people here. Let him go. You'll be surrounded in no time. You sly little blank. Everything on my phone is automatically stored on the cloud. Let him go or I'll make it public. Then do it. What? After all, this whole thing is the Onishi's fault, you know. You. Yes, Ember and I have killed all those people last year. Subaru too. Jasmine almost, and your precious Chiharu. But it's not our fault, you know. The Onishi made us this way, by imposing the legendary... No, Shizuyo, you're lying again. You imposed the curse upon yourself. But also in a way that the experiments that went on. But the curse was once again closed when they stopped experimenting with the curse on you. But because the curse was still inside you, you seek to harness its power for yourself. But look at where that's got you. That's The curse is a myth. It couldn't be. But, looking at Shizuyo now and Ember back then, yeah, am I? Maybe I am. But have you ever wondered why those deaths last year are so covered up? What do you think covered it up? Something devastating engulfed Sumire's expression. No. No, 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 no. Yeah. Heh. No. As I shout, Shizuyo lunges at a grief-stricken Sumire. I try to push myself, but my wounds keep me immobilized. And the lance of light goes through Shizuyo's like a hot knife through butter. In the fraction of a second, Shizuyo could only let out a gasp, like all the air in her lungs had escaped through that bleeding hole in her body. Shizuyo crumbles to the ground mid-pounce, staining the ground dark with her blood. What do you mean you still won? How does that make any sense? Enough! Emiri holds out her hand. I hear Sumire's choked gasp. White pierces my vision hotly. Oh gosh. But then again, wouldn't the curse be purified rather than go on to another host because of the way that it was performed? No. Chiharu. Sumire. Sumire. I don't think we lived, actually. Did Emiri also use an arrow to pierce at us? Oh, flash. Epilogue. Aha, okay, so we do indeed live. Oh, I see. Thank you for the update. I'll be in contact. I hung up, then stared at the fading screen. Nothing's improved about Chiharu's condition. She's stable, as always, but no improvement. She hasn't remembered much about these last 3 years. I pick up my phone and lean against the wall, watching the mountains pass by. The aftermath of that event has been messy, to put it lightly. Mom was so relieved, she became hysteric. I couldn't blame her. I was sure I died, but then I woke up in hospital, wearing enough bandages to pass as a mummy. Even my jaws were broken, for reasons I legally cannot disclose even until now. It was another cover-up, of course. If information was leaked out, the town would have been wiped off the map. Despite her quietness, Emiri was terrifyingly efficient. Everything was Ember's fault. Shizuyo was only strung along and forced into... It wasn't, it was the other way round. Because she was afraid Ember would cause trouble for Yonashi. That was why Shizuyo acted out and distanced herself, so she wouldn't cause Emiri trouble. Shizuyo had no idea Ember was murdering her filler. Shizuyo was also a part of it! She had no idea Ember was a serial killer who sought to destroy everyone who let her on. She was spiked by Shizuyo. She manipulated Ember. Shizuyo is the antagonist in all of this. Or so went the story. Yes, a story! There was public outrage. Chiharu's parents sued someone who already died, most likely for the past coverage and less likely for Ember's meager apartment. In the midst of all that, if Sumire's drives and backups were mysteriously wiped clean during our stay in the hospital, no one was the wiser. Neither of us could talk coherently for almost a month, and by the time we recovered, we never managed to speak to anyone about that matter. Besides, we wouldn't have dared to, after Emiri paid us a personal visit each. I closed my eyes, shaking my head. I moved out and away from Komachi as soon as I graduated. It turned out Grandpa left me a good chunk of his money, with some support from my family. I was able to go to a big city and attend a university there. My parents stayed only to sell the estate, before moving away themselves. There were too many tragedies, too much sorrow and horror lingering in Komachi. I leaned my head against the glass and let the morning sun drape golden rays over me. The chill within my heart persists. Perhaps it will never go away, along with the secrets that will never see the light of day. Not until the last of the Onashi exists. One of the many possible endings then, possibly. At least 2. End. So that was in a way an ending. But unfortunately it feels like there might have been a better path on that. Like, You could have just swayed away from Shizuyo at the very least by not picking choices. So I would imagine that picking the official ones and not going out that night would have somehow swayed Shizuyo to not go after Chiharu so much. Like, Jasmine was their first, well, not their first victim, but the first victim that we knew about, potentially. But then the second victim was obviously Chiharu, and she didn't get off so well. Like, Jasmine escaped with very little to spare. So we're going to go back into the game and see what else we can make of the scenario itself. We'll see what this one goes down. We shouldn't cause panic. I don't think anyone would know. Besides, we don't know what happened yet. I don't think we should cause a panic over this. You're right. Still, she fidgets with her phone, looking like she's at the verge of a meltdown. The worst about not knowing is the waiting. So we still enlist the help of the club, even though we say we shouldn't cause panic. I feel like the outcome would be exactly the same then if it's going to come to this. Yeah, the outcome is exactly the same, and there's no real change in the dialogue there, aside from the fact of we shouldn't tell the group or the group chat beforehand when they thought of the idea of doing that. Like, let's give everyone a heads up about what's going on, or keep it quiet and then let them know. So yeah, it's going to go to the white light and it's going to go to that ending. So a possible divergence in ending is going to be before that choice. Everything okay? Is everything okay? Yep, everything is fine, just some club complications, that's all. Alright. You guys not having lunch? We're just trying to grab a friend for a break. I see, I see. Have you heard? They found Jasmine. I know, it's such a relief. This would definitely make all those... Yeah, that's no good. Yeah, bad. Bad, very bad. Very bad. So it's just a very temporary delay of Ember's rush off. I highly doubt that an ending divergence would happen in the moment of that conversation with Sumire, Ember and Shizuyo. But let's stay inside for this time around. Cool. Peeking out the window into a street below, I sigh. It's too late to wander around now. I resigned to setting myself with finishing my homework for the week. I did chatting, but... So I was checking the club's group chat. It's a bit slow around this time, and people mostly talk about random stuff. It's assuming presence, reassuring, running in the background. Most of the night passes by like that, with me chipping away at my assignments and checking in with the group every now and again. The familiar rhythm of it slowly lures me into a sleepy haze, setting my earlier uneasiness. And then my phone pings with a notification from Sumire. In bed yet? Why are you asking? Not yet, sup? Just checking in, see how you're doing. I'm alright. Bit late for you, no? Can't sleep. I pause for a moment, looking down at the text. The earlier sleepiness dissipates. I have a feeling what this is about. That sucks. Wanna call? Sure. We'll do that. We'll do that. Sumire picks up after 2 rings. Her voice is a bit muffled. You doing okay? Yeah, just a bit stressed out, I guess. The deadline's getting too much. Chiharu's right, you know. You should be a bit easy on yourself. You and Kanako both. She giggles quite on the other side. You and Chiharu are really nice, you know that? But yeah, I suppose. Last year I was just a member, so I didn't have as many responsibilities. And you're taking on so many other extracurriculars on top of that too. Yeah, I want that good credit and references though. And experience. And are you aiming for some sort of top-notch university? Sort of. I want to go to a big city, or maybe overseas. I've always wanted to see the world someday. Wow, do you have any specific school you want to go to? Of course. She launches into a passionate explanation about which schools she's most interested in. Which ones are because of the curriculums, which ones are because of the locations. Sumire has definitely put a lot of thought into this, more than me definitely. It's difficult to remember sometimes that she's a year younger than me. Though I'm also considering a gap here. Oh, how come? Well, I don't mean to sound like a downer, but high school has been a lot. I don't blame you, you've always been so busy. Yeah, my parents don't really support that though. I mean, yeah, a lot of what they say makes sense, but She lets out a long sigh. They say if I take a gap year, then I'll have to take care of all my expenses by myself. Oof. Right, but hey, that's alright, I mean. I do have a part-time job to save up a bit before I finally decide. You have a part-time job on all of this? Yeah. Wow, Sumire. How you're able to balance all of this, I don't know. She lets out another giggle. Thanks, I don't know, I'm just trying. Like all of us, I guess. Sorry, I'm keeping you up, aren't I? To be honest, I was going to go to bed when you pinged. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to be a bother. Not at all. To be honest, I was thinking about calling you earlier. Oh? Yeah, getting a bit stuck with the article. I explained to her what I'm struggling to do. How nothing feels quite right when I put it down. Sumire listens. Okay, I think we're on the right track now. Perhaps this is more different than I thought. I didn't think much of it when Sumire gave me her work address. Only when I got there did I did a double take. It's a maid cafe Sumire invited me and Chiharu to before. I'm so taken aback that I have to do a double check. Yep, the address is correct. Cafe Choo Choo's bright sign stares right back at me. Innocent and mischievous, just like Sumire herself. Ah, Flare, what are you doing out there? Whom? Ah, Sumire, Can't cut your tongue, Flare. Well, I stopped myself taking a deep breath. I just didn't expect you to work here. Right. Well, what are you waiting for? Come inside. Thanks. Still speechless, I dutifully shuffle behind Sumire. She sits me at the same table as last time, smugly pouring me a glass of water. Would you like to order something? I'll just have a drink, please. What kind of drink would you like? Something cold would do. Alright, it'll be up to me then. She has the gall to wink at me. Now that I've recovered, I managed to roll my eyes back at Sumire as she shahays away. Girls can be so difficult sometimes. I should have seen it coming. Sumire was definitely hinting at her working here last time with the chief and food comments. Chef? She definitely bamboozled me, that's for sure. Thankfully, she doesn't have anything to say when she brings my drink. It seems like a busy day at the cafe. Sumire and the staff flit from one table to another, welcome guests and bouncing trays after trays of meals out from the kitchen. And here we go. Sumire moves with a dancer's grace. She greets everyone with a dazzling smile. Her friendly laughter tinkles delicately and her eyes shine with unbridled joy. She is a sight to behold. Twin tails fluttering with each step, easily captivates just about everyone who has stepped through the cafe's door. Like the other patrons, I can't help but be mesmerized by her. Watching on a wed days. Sumire shifts takes a while, but I find myself unable to care. Oof, that's that. She slides into the seat opposite to me, popping off her name tag and sliding me an enormous portion of ice cream. Don't hog all of it, it's for me too. Thanks, Sumire, you really did well out there. You think so? Yeah, you were amazing. Thanks. Alright, Flatterer, what do you need? Straight to business, huh? Well, I told you about the whole writer's block sort of thing. And honestly, I feel like it's a bit of an imposter syndrome as well. I don't know how well I can actually do this. Hey now, don't need to be so down. Everyone's got to start somewhere, you know. That's true, but nothing comes to mind when I sit down and try to write. It either starts well, then devolves into a jumbled mess, or I just can't seem to bring any words up. It's frustrating. I see. I'm going to make a suggestion. I think you should stop treating the article like an assignment. Huh? What do you mean? I think you're taking this whole thing too seriously. Not that you shouldn't, but it's not going to be graded by anyone. I mean, I get that, but I'm not really following. You can be a bit dense, huh? Hey! Sorry, I'm just saying that. You picked a hobbyist type of article, and this is your first time writing one. You shouldn't be worried about making it perfect. You should just write from the heart. I know it's a bit difficult to think of it that way, especially since you've been doing so much research already. But you don't have to be so hard on yourself. That'd sooner drive you up the wall than help you write something. Once you get into the right mindset, it'll be much easier to write and on both yourself, yeah. What she is saying makes sense. I guess how quickly and naturally Chiharu is taking to this, I feel like I've fallen behind. I don't want to put something unpolished and make myself look bad. I really have overthought this, haven't I? That's my first guess, yeah. don't worry too much about it. This happened to me too. Yeah? Mm-hmm. Just right from your heart. Thanks. Sumire, coming! Pushing the rest of the almost untouched ice cream towards me, Sumire winks. Chin up, yeah, I gotta get back to work. Finish the ice cream for me. Ah, thanks, Sumire. She flashes 2 thumbs up at me and bounces away. Lovely days. I've never been to a cafe like that before. And I don't think there are very many places in the UK that have that kind of thing, or even none at all. Mainly predominantly Japan and I think America as well, not too sure. By some feat of miracle, I managed to complete my project with time. I think we're on the main track now. Everything okay? Let's see, her article isn't in the same category as mine and Chiharu's. No, Sumire apparently had submitted a short story. The story is in a post-apocalyptic sci-fi setting. Okay, that was different about the crime statistic one. About a lonely sister working the invisible job of a mess hall custodian of a wandering spaceship. She cared for her ill but brilliant younger sister, all the while nurturing her deep yearning for a passion that was considered worthless in this world. The ending of Sumire's short story has me a bit misty-eyed. The format is so unique compared to everyone else's, and the plot itself is touching. The fact that Sumire has been helping both me and Chiharu with our work is still managed to pull off something like this isn't lost to me either. It's no surprise that Sumire is the one I vote for. Aww! After all the votes are cast in a harsh but serious debate among the editors, it seems like they are ready to announce the winners. Alright, the votes are in and we're ready, fellow investigators. A resounding yes answers her. That's the spirit. Our community's pig article belongs to, drum rolls please, Sumire! Oh my gosh! Thanks everyone! You deserve it. You go. Yay, Sumi! Good job, Sumire. Thank you! And after much debate and serious contemplations, our editors would like to give a prize of a one-day trip to... Okay, so I was right when I said that one of the winners could be me. But we just did the wrong thing by going out rather than staying in on that one night. What? Yay, congrats, Flare! Oh, nice one, Flare. That's awesome. Oh, I really wanted that. Some even reach over and pat me back. Slightly overwhelmed, I stagger forward as Kanako hands me the ticket. A job well done. Enjoy, fellow investigator. Thank you. Looks like we're in this one together too. Okie dokie. Someone whistles in the background. My cheeks heat up and I hastily dip my head in acknowledgement at Sumire. Going back to my seat, my ears heat up and all the stares and cheers I'm getting. A trip out of town with Sumire. To the festival. Just the 2 of us? Oh. I chance a glance up to Sumire as she helps Kanako announce the runners-up. This isn't going to be a date, is it? No, it cannot be that. It's just 2 friends going to the festival together and that's it. Nothing odd. If I'm being completely honest, a big part of what's keeping me sane is the little trip I won. A big part of that is being able to go with Sumire. It brings a warmth to my cheeks just thinking about it. We haven't really talked about it. In fact, Sumire gets all flustered whenever I so much mention the topic, but she confirms that she is very much excited before very hastily changing the topic. That's not worrying at all, right? Sumire's just being shy, right? Though Sumire being shy at all is something worrying itself. Doesn't help me thinking it's a date. What's it gonna be next? Sharing straws and thinking it's an indirect kiss? No thanks. Is it a date? No. It's 2 friends going to the festival and that's it. I don't even know. But date or not, I'm looking forward to spending some time with Sumire. It'd be nice just to hang out and explore a place that neither of us have been to before. A chance to get to know Sumire more than last night's conversation, others, and our own worries. And here we are in the library. Seems to have noticed where my train of thought has gone. Chiharu giggles. Focus on your work, Flare. Thanks. Just think of the trip you'll be taking after this. Thanks for that. Yes. I mean, you've heard? Yeah, Kanako told me. Congrats, you two. Sumire and I share a look. Timidly, Sumire fidgets with her sleeves. Do you want to come with us? I mean, we are a team. Have been since the start. I don't want to leave you out. But you two are the ones who won the draw. Yeah, but... Chiharu shakes her head. You guys are the best, you know that? Chiharu... No, you guys go. I don't think I mean, even if I want to go, I don't think it'd be best for me to go anyway. Why not? We could prevent your death or your hospitalization if we could do that. Your parents? Yeah. Charles sighs, tapping her notebook. Her lips pressed firmly together. I think I've managed to get them off. Okay, we've done this. Okay. Much of that is thanks to Flare's mum, though. She did speak to me in length. I'm glad that worked out. I've also decided to not take their request to a T anymore. Oh? I did go out and got myself a part-time job. Yes, go Chiharu! At her exclamation, several people around us turned and shushed Sumire. Sorry. Stiffing my chuckle, I grinned at Chiharu. Congratulations, Chiharu. Thanks, you guys. So where do you work? What's your job? It's nothing fancy, just a clerk at a local store. Okay. That's still awesome. Chiharu on her first steps to independence. Alright, let's have a celebration party after we get back from the war trip, yeah? Yeah. Okay. Excitement wells up within me before I'm fully awoken. Yeah, he got up before his alarm went off. What's there not to be happy about? Midterm is over, we've all passed, some with better results than others, but the point is we all passed. Chiharu's parents are off her back for once, and haven't found out that she's got a part-time job yet. Best of all, today is the day I'm getting to go on that trip with Sumire. It took me a while to get to sleep last night, but I made sure to have everything prepared for the trip. The main things are the tickets, of course, but also have been preparing something for Sumire. If I'm not reading into it wrong, then I'll give it to her, but if I'm just overthinking things, then none would be the wiser. With that in mind, I prepare for the trip, heart-pounding with both anticipation, nervous hope. Nervous hope? What do you mean by that? Ah, lovely. This is nice. I think we'll get back to this game in the next time, folks. I think we've been at this for long enough. I've been at this recording session for about 1.5 hours now, and I feel like this is a good place to end it off. So we've got to one of the endings of the game itself, of this route that is. I don't wonder how many endings there are though. Like, I think there is enough choices to be able to deter the ending to not just 2 endings like a good and bad ending like it would be for the other characters, but there could also be a 3rd ending too. I'm not too sure about that one though, because Chiharu's route, we got a bad end where she would kill the MC, whereas we got a good end where where Chiharu was unconscious and the MC was unconscious, but they both woke up and they were both perfectly fine and living together as a couple. And then we had Ember's, like, her life was dwindling, but she still had a good ending nonetheless, even though the punishment of what she did was obviously countered by the amount of life that she had left. Like, she wanted to be with the MC, but it was the case of her life has dwindled so much because of those demonic powers that she gained from being with the curse for so long. And then there's obviously actually there's 2 bad endings in Ember's route, I remember now. There's one bad end in the hospital, and then another bad end nearer the end of that portion, I believe? Or is it much earlier in time? I can't quite remember now, but I definitely remember there being 2 bad ends for Ember's route. I did have a spreadsheet with everything. I'm so sad I even made a spreadsheet to put on board about how many different endings there are. Yeah, there's bad end 1, which is trying to calm calm Ember down at the hospital, and then the other bad end on Ember's route is through the oh goodness sakes now, the shrine where Ember literally tore everyone apart from Chiharu, but then again we didn't know what would happen after that, so she could have also been torn to shreds. But then we had 2 of Shizuyo's bad endings, which involves being overly nice to Shizuyo, and therefore she's thinking that you're just following her like a puppet or a drone. No wait, the first bad end was being killed by that stranger when Shizuyo was held custody. And then the bad end was that. Like, was it 3 bad ends? I'm not too sure now. Then the good ending, for goodness sakes, that was incredibly hard to do. Emiri's bad end. Oh, wait, we didn't talk about Shizuyo's good ending first. It was the matter of the fact that you didn't kind of agree with her too much, but enough to the fact of her wanting to trust you in a way, but at the same time not kind of being latched onto that character too much. Like, the whole purpose of this story is to latch the main character and Chiharu back into Komachi at some point, because these two are outsiders of Komachi, but at the same time they're not outsiders. So in that case, it's kind of like they're new to the town, but at the same time they're not new to the town. But somehow Shizuyo knew about their presence and therefore did that. I think it was related towards the MC's grandfather. I think that's how it all orbits around, and I think Shizuyo would know about the MC's grandfather and the history behind that family too, because obviously Emiri would work closely alongside the MC's grandfather, because the grandfather, well, not closely, but definitely worked at the same place. But that's how that goes. Emiri's bad ending, it happened over the fact that you didn't get the option of being able to get to the point of being able to comfort Emiri in the restaurant or the cafe, and therefore speak about Shizuyo's thoughts rather than anything else. And then there's a good ending where you're able to comfort her. Like that, for me, that was one of the easiest endings for me to be able to acquire, while a lot of other people had a very hard time trying to get to a good ending of Emiri's, because of the fact that Emiri's kind of one-tracked or single-tracked in a way where you kind of know what would kind of help the situation with her, alongside being able to not help her. Being able to talk openly, for example, is a bad thing, and just trying to side with what Emiri is thinking in a way. But then Sumire's, I've been able to plot out her endings because this is the first time I've gone through the endings. So yeah, folks, and then there's also the times goes on ending where, hypothetically, well, they all end up, but at the same point, but it's kind of like they all go there in different ways. But they all end up with a double suicide at the end of Shizuyo and the main character, because in that one, everyone dies. Like, everyone dies. Did Chiharu? Yeah, because of course she died, because it would have been happening on, between chapter 1 and 2. Right, folks, this outro's gone on for long enough. Thank you so much for watching, and see you all in the next time of Missing Time, where it could also be the last time as well. And if it is a short outcome, then we might talk a bit more about this game, because this is definitely a very interesting game with a lot of theories that you can make out of it. Thank you so much for watching, and take care of yourselves.